What's poppin', YouTube? Welcome to my channel, Astro Finesse. It's your boy Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie, back with another video for y'all. And this video right here, we're gonna be talking about if you have soul urge number 3. And now pause for the cause. If you don't know how to find your soul urge number, if you're a new subscriber, if nobody puts you on as to why it's so important that you have to learn about yourself, study yourself, and overall love yourself through astrology and numerology, don't worry, I got you. There's a couple of videos. I put the link in the description. You have to watch them first so you can become hip to the knowledge of what I'm about to talk about right now. So if you did the math and you realize that you have a soul urge number 3, this video is for you. So without further ado, let's just get it popping, shall we? Alright, so boom, soul urge number 3. First of all, what does soul urge mean? Why does that relate to you and your personality? Why is it important to understand what your soul urge number is? So the soul urge number is derived from first taking the vowels from your name, changing it into a numerical value, adding those 2 digits up, and coming up with a soul urge number. And by the way, when you add up the 2 digits and it comes out to 11, 22, or 33, you're going to leave those numbers because they're known as master numbers, and I'm going to get to master numbers in my future videos as I go along the series. But you're going to take the vowels of your name, add it up, and get a number. Now, why the vowels? Why are vowels so important? Why do vowels represent our soul urge, or also known as our heart's desire? Now, vowels in numerology are known as our inner selves. Vowels, when it comes to words, just think about when you're saying vowels and how you're saying it. It comes out with a soothing tone. It comes out smoothly. You don't have to use your tongue, your lips, or your teeth. It just comes out smooth. And they're known as the soft sounds, the soft words, the soft letters in the alphabet. So for it being soft and soothing represents our more inner, deeper, emotional side of ourselves. Consonants, on the other hand, are more rough, are more harsh to say. You have to use your tongue, your teeth, your lips. They come out more roughly. So they're also derived as our outer selves, if that makes sense. So soul urge numbers is what your soul craves, desires, what your heart desires, what you will do in this lifetime that will give your heart, your soul, the most fulfillment in this lifetime. Soul urge numbers are derived from our past life, how we were in our past life, all the lessons and the tribulations we went through in our past life that we bring into this life, and now this lifetime our soul craves, our soul desires to carry out a certain characteristic, certain trait based on the number. Our soul wants that deeply in this lifetime because a lot of times in our past life, we got derived from it, we got shunned from it in a way. So soul urge number 3. What does it mean having a soul urge number 3? And like I said in all my numerology videos, every single number is ruled by a planet. Just like in astrology, every single sign is ruled by a planet. So the planet that rules number 3 is the planet of Jupiter, the biggest planet in our solar system, planet that represents abundance, planet that represents life, planet that represents benefits and prosperity. Jupiter represents anything that has to do with blessings and optimism, anything grand and large and big. Remember, it's the biggest planet. It gives us blessings wherever it is in our birth chart. So what does it mean having a soul urge number 3? Having our soul heart's desire, having our soul heart yearning, what our soul values, what our soul wants in this lifetime, ruled by the number 3, ruled by the planet of Jupiter. Now, before I start, I'm going to talk about how it was in your past life. Soul urge number 3, people, most likely in your past life, first of all, number 3 rules talents, rules entertainment, rules gifts. So a lot of times y'all were blessed with many gifts and many talents. In the past life though, it could have been that you were too shy to express it, to be out in the forefront, to be out in the leadership role, to actually express that talent. It could have been that you were shunned or muted, that you can't speak, don't talk, don't do this, don't express yourself in a way. So a lot of times the past life of these people, soul urge number 3 people, couldn't express their talents the way that they wanted to. If they had the talent, they could have been afraid to express it. So in this lifetime, in this reality, your soul craves, your soul values, your soul yearns for, you will get the most fulfillment in this lifetime the more that you express yourself, your inner talents, your inner abilities. Self-expression is the key word for this placement. So naturally, you will find yourself most likely being so easily talented at things and being able to do things easier than most. That just comes naturally to you. And a lot of times when it comes into the communication sector of life, whether it's talking, orating, being a public speaker, singing, writing, poetry, anything that has to do with expressing yourself in the communicative avenues, acting, art, that is where your talent thrives the most. So you will find in this lifetime, you will feel the most fulfillment the more that you are expressing and sharing your talents with the world, with others. And a lot of times these people will be like the life of the party. These are more of the extroverted type energy. Y'all like to just make people laugh, make people smile, bring joy into their lives. Remember, like I said, number 3, ruled by Jupiter, optimism. Y'all like to be optimistic and bring joy, bring life into places, give energy of grand Jupiter type, optimistic type energy and wherever you go. So with this placement, understand that your soul yearns and values being able to express yourself through whichever way you seem fit, whether it's through the way you dress, the way you talk to people, the way you're singing, the way you're doing poetry. Self-expression is the key factor for this placement. Now, being so optimistic does have its flaws at the same time, because understand that a lot of times y'all could be so into your talents, so into your gifts, so optimistic about, wow, I'm so talented at this, I want to share with the world, I just want to do this, I want to share my talents with the world, that the rationality factor, as in being like, if you have to grind and hustle for a little bit, maybe like go to 9 to 5 and hustle for a little bit, or put your head down and do some mundane work just for a little bit, just to get your financial situation right, so that you're able to actually carry out your talents and your gifts. A lot of times being mundane and doing the mundane things in life gives y'all so much distress. Y'all could be so restless in a way, because y'all like to do a lot of different things at the same time. Y'all could be so restless in a way that the mundaneness of life can really make y'all so depressed. Even though the mundaneness of life sometimes, a lot of times, is needed, because that gives us discipline. A lot of times that gives us financial stability. So understand that y'all could be really restless, and y'all could be really not rational in thinking about the long term, because if it has to do with mundaneness and doing the same thing, like structure and discipline, it's kind of hard for y'all to carry through a lot, because number 3 just wants to express. Number 3, being ruled by Jupiter, just wants to be optimistic, just wants to do what it wants, just wants to receive blessings, be abundant. And y'all do receive blessings, and y'all are abundant with the talents and gifts that you innately have. You're blessed with these talents and gifts for a reason. So express it, understand that. But also understand that if you're not disciplined enough to carry out these gifts and put it in a way that can actually help you longevity-wise, long-term wise, you will face hardships not being disciplined in whatever you're doing. Now, solars, number 3, people are really good at a lot of different things. They're like the jack of all trades and a master of none kind of energy, kind of like that Gemini-esque energy. They like to do a lot of different things at one time. So for y'all, the key thing for y'all to understand is being disciplined enough to carry out one task, to see the end of it, to see it through to the longevity factor of it. Remember, understand that similar to solar's number 1, or the number 1 energy, how they kind of like to start things, but they don't finish it. Number 1 and number 2 coming together creates number 3. So y'all have the balance of that leadership. Y'all have the balance of beginning something, also mixed in with number 2, being that empathic, being that energy feeling, being able to change your energy and transform it into something creative, transform it into something that people can actually benefit from. Taking those 2 energies, putting it together, creates the number 3. So use your talents, use your gifts, be disciplined enough to carry out the plan and the goals that you want to do. Do not be afraid to express yourself in this reality. Understand that if you're the type that you're like, nah, I'm not the one that wants to be in the center of the spotlight. I'm not the one that wants to be the life of the party. I want to be more secluded. I don't like to share my gifts, even though this is very rare for this placement, for this number. I'm not the one that wants to share my gifts. Understand that your heart craves, your heart desires to be able to express itself, because in a past life, it was muted, it was shunned, it was closed off. So put yourself in situations where you can actually express yourself a lot. Understand that the communication factor, being like an orator, like I said, speaker, singer, songwriter, things that have to do with communication, is big with this placement. Now, another negative of this placement too is y'all could be so optimistic, y'all could be just so full of life, that when you're talking low key or high key, low key, it won't go through, you won't think about what you're saying before you say it. So The trouble that y'all could get into with this placement a lot of times could be that you could say things and not really think through it deeply, and that's where the problems come. Or if you're so busy thinking about other things and not really focusing on one thing, and you're talking a lot and talking to people, that gossipy kind of energy could just come out because y'all just like to share, y'all just like to express. So being the person and being the type that wants to express all the time can turn into gossipy kind of energy, or if you're not really understanding the substance of what you're saying or talking about or expressing, can turn into gossipy, or it could turn into you not thinking through fully before you say it. So understand that, like I said, self-expression is key. Be aware of how you're self-expressing yourself. Be aware of situations you're putting yourself into. Don't talk before you think. Don't speak before you think. Don't be so optimistic that you're not thinking in reality, because y'all could be so daydreaming and fantasizing about what you want, and y'all really dream big. Like I said, Jupiter rules this number. Everything about Jupiter is grand and big. So y'all have a big dream, big goals. Don't have such big optimistic goals that you're not really realistic in this reality, if that makes sense. At the same time though, don't not express yourself. Don't close yourself up. Don't not put yourself up in the forefront, because you will receive blessings in this reality. You will receive gifts and talents and abundance in this reality the more that you are self-expressive, the more that you carry out your soul's urging, your soul's heart's desire, which is the need to express, the need to share gifts, the need to share talents, the need to just to be out and about and being able to make people happy, bring joy into people's lives. Y'all are here to actually be the light and the beacon to bring joy into people's lives. People love being around y'all, which is why a lot of times y'all attract a lot of different partners. Y'all attract a lot of people around you. In relationships, understand that if you're a partner of a solar's number 3 person, in relationships they need spontaneity a lot. They could be a little restless. They don't really like like I said, the mundaneness of life. So if you're like the more boring partner, and boring just means that if you're like really disciplined and strict and have your own set ways, you don't like to really go outside the box sometimes. If you're that kind of rigid, I'm stuck in my ways type partner, you will find that your soul urge 3 partner will be a little bored, be a little restless, and then that's how their attention kind of goes elsewhere. But if you are the fun-loving partner, if you are fun, adventurous, and spontaneous, soul urge number 3 person will work well with you. At the same time, like I said before, soul urge number 3 people, understand that you're a jack of all trades, a master of none. So in this lifetime, focus on kind of disciplining yourself enough to carry out a specific task. Do not be too grand and be too over the top. I feel like I'm repeating myself, but this has to be said. This has to be said a lot so it could be understood for these soul urge number 3 people. But all in all, though, in this reality, what is your soul value? What's your intentions for what you're doing in this reality? Why do you do what you do? You do what you do, your soul craves and desires to be able to express itself, to be able to bring joy into people's lives, to be able to carry out your talents, to be able to carry out your gifts, to be able to practice these gifts and talents, to be able to be in the spotlight and just to shine the light, shine the Jupiter abundance light to other people. Carry out your life purpose. Do not shy away from being in the spotlight. Do not shy away from sharing your talents. Even if you're not the type to want to be in front of the camera, like I always said, use your gifts and talents in ways that you can actually get credit for your gifts, for what you're doing, whether it's writing, poetry, art, anything that has to do with expressing yourself is the biggest key thing for this placement. Like I said, if you're with a soul urge number 3 person, understand their need for excitement, understand their need for things being new. Think before you speak, because a lot of times y'all could just be doing things in an optimistic way with good intention, but it doesn't come out as you want it to, as it should be. Think before you speak. Share your gifts and talents. Hone in on your gifts and talents. Be disciplined. Do not think that, oh, I could just do this and I don't have to really be disciplined and like the universe just give me whatever, or I'll just manifest whatever I want without putting in the work or without having the discipline. Everything has to be in order with this placement. But the more that you have, if you have discipline and your creativity, putting it together creates abundance and blessing in this lifetime. So that was my video on soul urge number 3. I hope y'all enjoyed that. My next video is going to be on soul urge number 4, and you already know I'm about to go in. If you have subscribed to my channel, Appreciate all y'all for real, you already know. But if you still haven't subscribed yet, go ahead, handle the one time for your boy. Don't forget to drink your water, mind your business, and be safe out here. It's your boy Lil Finesse Jiggy Hippie. I'm gonna see all y'all when I see y'all.